Hello YouTube, I'm Big Kev, aka Virtua Father. Today I'm feeling particularly drawn to PS3, so let's pop out and see what we can pick up.
So as you can see, I have popped out. Plan changed a little bit. This morning I wanted to go off maybe into Sheffield or maybe pick up something from Super Retro Video Games. I've not been there for a little while, but got waylaid with doing some work stuff. So I've actually popped straight over to Oldham. I'm going to be picking my kids up soon, so I'm near to them. But before I do, I've come into Oldham Centre. I'm going to pop into CEX. CEX tends to be pretty decent, I find, in Oldham. I've picked up a few decent PS3 games from here, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, today will be another example of that. While I'm on it with the PS3 stuff, it has taken me a little bit by surprise because I started all this stuff with the kids thinking I'd give them a bit of an education in retro video games, maybe show them things like the Master System, the Mega Drive, but as I started collecting stuff with the PS3, I've noticed I'm really getting into it, and it's the PS3 I'm tending to be hunting for when I'm out more than anything now, and I'm kind of collecting a decent amount of games. I mean, I'm no massive PS3 collector. I'm not in the big leagues or anything, but I've noticed it's growing, and I'm wanting to keep adding more to it. I'm hunting down more and more games. So yeah, that's took me a little bit by surprise. I'm hoping today I'll pick up something else, and then I'll give you a rundown of what I've got later on. Right now, I'm probably going to go for a coffee first. So I've not had one for a while. So I'm going to treat myself to a coffee and then get hunting for those PS3 games in CEX. See you in a bit. So I managed to do quite well there. Picked up my goodies from CEX and then picked up another little goodie. The little man's here. Say hello, little man.
Hello.
So he's just done his swimming and he's about to go off and do his football. His sister's still at the swimming, so that's why she's not here though. But yeah, I've picked up my PS3 goodies, 3 games I'm really happy with. And when I get back to the Retro 180, I'll show you what we've got. Bye for now. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
So as you can see, I'm back here in the Retro 180 now. A few days have passed since you last saw me in the car with Liam, but we had a great weekend, me and the kids. So I got the game hunting out of the way, if you like, doing my CEX run, picking up the PS3 games, which I'll show you in a bit. But over the weekend, me and the kids did a few different things. It was quite busy. So me and the lad went to see our beloved football team on the Saturday. So we had a fantastic day out there. We didn't win, our team didn't win, but we got a 1-1 draw, so at least we didn't come away unhappy with a loss. Last home game of the season, so we had a good time out that day. And then the following day, lad went to a birthday party for one of his friends, or a couple of his friends actually. So me and my daughter, we popped out, went into an arcade nearby, had a great time in there. You saw a bit of footage at the start of this video actually of me on Cruise and Blast. Never played that before, I had a fun time on that one. But yeah, me and my little lady, she popped around putting coins into all sorts of machines as much as she could. She had a great time on the basketball, and then we had a bit of fun playing pool as well. So yeah, a really good weekend, really good fun. And then they popped home to the mum, and I came back here and I thought, right, I need to get on with the rest of this video if I'm honest, but work stuff got in the way, so a bit delayed for a few days, but here I am now putting it together. So let's have a look at what I picked up. Just grab the bag. So I've got my goodies from CEX, 3 PS3 titles, basically 2 I've heard of, 1 I owned when I had a PS3 back in the day, 1 I wanted but never got around to, but I'm pretty certain it will be an absolute belting game by all accounts, and 1 I picked up a the old-fashioned way, and I'll explain what I mean by that when I come to that game. So the first one I got, and I think it was £14. Yeah, I spent 14 quid on what I think are 3 good games. Well, 2 quality games, and I'm assuming one might be a quality game, but I'm going to get you guys and girls to let me know on that one. So the first one I picked up, Marvel vs. Capcom, Fate of Two Worlds, and only 6 quid, and these are all complete, so they're all disc and the instructions manual, etc. Tidy condition. So 6 quid. Had this before. I think it's a top game. You can't often go wrong with Marvel and Capcom games, can you? So yeah, I'm happy to have picked up that. Again, let me know in the comments what you think of these pickups, but particularly the last one I show you, because I've no idea about it. Like I said, I'll explain a bit more about that. And then I got Ninja Gaiden, depending on how you want to pronounce it, Sigma, a 9 out of 10 game on here. Now this is one that back in the day I wanted, but never got around to owning or playing. Now, as I understand it, Ninja Gaiden games, I'm not aware of any that are particularly bad. Again, let me know, but I don't think you can go wrong no matter what version of this you pick up on what platform. Only 5 quid. Again, totally complete, CIB. So I'm looking forward to getting tucked into that. And then lastly, the good old-fashioned way of picking up a game. For 3 quid, I got Sacred 3. Now, what I mean by the good old-fashioned way, I saw this and saw the cover, was intrigued, looked on the back, said it's a sort of traditional type arcade hack and slash. Well, that got me gripped straight away. Looked at some of the imagery on the back, so I took a look at that on the shelf. I've never heard of this, and what I would have done normally, well, recently while I've been doing this collecting with the kids and picking up games from CEX and here, there and everywhere, if I pick something up I'm not aware of, I've never heard of it, not sure anything about it, what I tend to do, modern way, you get your phone out, you check reviews, etc. You find feedback somewhere, you watch a YouTube video, and you find out about it before you pick it up. But I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do that with this. Back in the day, as a kid, you'd go in a shop, you'd see a video game, probably never heard of it before, the cover would grab you, you look at the graphics, the pictures on the back, and you're like, oh yeah, that looks cool. Do a bit of the read up, write up on the back, and you'd be convinced to either spend some money on it or not. That's pretty much it. You might have bought a magazine recently and seen a review in there, but quite often you pick up games just on a hunch, a gut feeling when you picked up the box in the store. That's what I used to do, and that's what I did with this. I took a hunch. I took a risk with it on my hunch. I saw it, 3 quid. I thought, well, you can't go wrong. Arcade hack and slash. It can't be that bad. So what I'm asking you guys, if you could put in the comments, if you played this, have I picked up a goodie? Is this one that I picked up where 3 quid has been well and truly well spent? Or is it a dud? I mean, obviously if it's a dud, I can trade it in down the line. But yeah, let me know what you think of this, because I have no clue. I've surely gone on, like the cover, like the idea it's an arcade hack and slash. I'll go for it. As I said earlier in the video, I'm really enjoying picking up games for the PS3. It's really got me gripped. I've kind of started being a bit of a collector for it rather than just gaming, and as people who've watched this channel from the start know, I commented quite strongly on the idea that the channel is just about me and the kids picking up games here and there, trading them in when we've done with them, not really collecting. It's all about just the gaming. But with the PS3, I've started to amass a little bit of a collection, and I am picking up games that I want as part of my backlog, not just games to immediately play. So I've kind of veered off in that direction, but just with the PS3. With the other systems we've got, I'm still sort of picking up games here and there with the kids, ones that they're interested in having, ones that I've had and I know I've enjoyed in the past, I think they might, etc. And every now and again, a game that pops up that I didn't have back in the day and I think, oh well, I'll give it a go now. But once we're done with them, we are shifting them on. So for example, daughter really want an Outrun on the Master System. For ages we tracked that down. We did a video on that where she found it, so if you've not seen that, I'll leave a link, go check that out. But she's played it and she's not that keen. So we're not just going to keep it for our Master System collection, even though it's technically a classic for that system. We're trading in. I'm currently in the process of selling that on. And that's what we're doing generally. But with the PS3, I've found myself picking up games that I've had back in the day, like this little beauty up here, and others. But I've also got games that I've picked up because I've heard, I've sort of seen YouTube videos, read reviews, etc. Knew from back in the day that I wanted to get that game, for example, and I've added them. And then I'm now, randomly, like you've seen today, Sacred 3, I'm picking up games that I've never heard of before and adding them into the collection. Now, I will, like I said before, I will shift that on. If it's a terrible game, I'm not going to leave it taking space because we haven't got loads of room in the Retro 180. But I am prepared more with the PS3, I'm finding, to build that collection and have games to go back to somewhere down the line, have that backlog. So it got me wondering, why is that? And I've mulled it over, and I think I've come to a conclusion that the PS3, I've never really thought about it in this way before, but the PS3 was a transition console for me. My gaming is in basically two parts, two phases. First 20 years and the second 20 years. Yeah, I don't look that old, I know, but I have been gaming for roughly 40 years now. 4 decades under my belt of gaming, which scares the heck out of me, really. But it's true, 40 years have passed by and I've been into gaming in one way or another. That first 20 years, so picking up a ZX Spectrum all the way through to sort of Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube era, and all in between, all my Sega consoles in between, etc., PlayStation 1. That first 20 years, life was different, as with a lot of you guys. You know, when you're younger as a gamer, you get into it and you've got free time. You're a kid or you're a young adult. You might not be settled in a career. You know, for me, I was like, I had time at university where I could do a lot of gaming as well. But in that 20 years, there was a lot of free time around everything else I was doing where I could just be a gamer and enjoy gaming in that sense. By the time the PS3 came out, I was a young man, I wasn't a kid, but I was still into gaming. So I still wanted to get the shiny new console that had come out. So I purchased one, but I'd started my career, I was busy, I was working all day, really long hours. I was taking work home in the evening. Weekend, any bit of free time that I sort of made for myself, I was going out with my mates. We were still relatively young. None of us were at that point settled down with, you know, wives and kids, etc. So we had free time to go out on a Saturday, on a weekend, go drinking, house parties and stuff. So apart from like playing, I don't know, Wii Sports, I should say, and Guitar Hero on the Wii and Mario Kart on the Wii, probably a bit tipsy at the time as well, so it made it even more funny. Apart from that sort of gaming, a lot of it went by the wayside. I didn't have time for it, but I still, at the time, I didn't realise that, I don't think. So I still wanted games, like a lot of these back here. So I'd pick up games and not really get to play them. And the more I've reflected on my time as a PS3 owner, same with the Xbox 360, and going forward basically from having a PS3, none of the consoles I've had since that Gen 7, wasn't it? That Gen 7 period, none of the consoles really have I, until very recently when we started making more time, me and the kids doing it, because life changed a little bit and we're fitting this in on the weekend. But that period from the sort of mid-2000s to 2024, 2025, I've still been a gamer, still been into it, but I've not really realised until now just how much my passion for it had to take a back seat. And I kept buying and trading games and this, that, and that, but really never had a chance to sit down and play them properly. So there's a massive gap in a lot of these games, the time I had with them and completing them, enjoying them, and really getting full value out of them. So often when I'll say on here, I had this game back in the day, if it's from sort of PS3 era onwards, it'll probably be that I had it and I played it a bit, but probably didn't complete it. Whereas the first 20-year period, I got my money's worth out of games. I'd buy them and I'd play them within an inch of the life and finish them. So it's definitely there's a two-era thing going on here for me in video gaming. The first 20 years and the second 20 years. And this console is the start of the second phase. And I think that's why I am loving now having the chance to go back to it, pick up games for it, and sit down and play a lot of them with greater sort of focus, concentration, and a chance to enjoy them. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying doing that, and I think that's why. I hope that's made sense. I hope that's not. I hope I'm not waffled on and gone for too many tangents. But just this idea that maybe it's the same for you guys. Let me know. But this two phases. We all grow up, don't we? We all go from being kids to adults. You can't be a gamer the same as an adult unless you're really lucky with your circumstances. You can't be a gamer as an adult the same way you were as a child or a young adult, let's say, before you settle down with a career, etc., and responsibilities and kids. And PS3 marks that coming of age for me, if you like, where I became a truly adult gamer with adult responsibilities and the impact that brings. And the chance now to go back to it, because I still do the same busy career, but it's the circumstances are slightly different, and because I'm making time for it with the kids, doing this channel, etc., and going out hunting for games with them and trying to educate them on video games, obviously that creates a window there where I'm doing the gaming with them and I'm getting a chance to do it. It's not, I don't go out on weekends now loads with my mates like I did back in the day drinking. Life's changed, so it's just nice. I'm really enjoying how that sort of, it's kind of gone a full 360, if you like, rather than a retro 180. It's gone a full 360, kind of back. I don't think you ever get back being a gamer as you were as a child, do you? Let's face it. But kind of gone back to it a little bit better than it was in that busy period when this little beauty of a console first came out. So yeah, I hope that makes a bit of sense. I just wanted to try and explain that a bit. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on that. What console for you, for example, marks that transition from where you had the freedom as a kid, but then things settled down, got serious as an adult, you didn't get to play games as much as you wanted to, but you still loved video gaming? Yeah, let me know. I'd love to hear. So that's pretty much it though today. I think I've waffled on enough about that, so I'll pause there. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, still really appreciate everybody who's watching the channel and subscribe and coming back to us and watching our videos, etc. If you're new, consider, if you've watched this, you've enjoyed it, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe. And please comment because we do love to hear your thoughts on it. But yeah, I'll leave it there for today. No doubt somewhere up here I'll put a link to one of our other videos, so maybe check that out. But yeah, take care, keep enjoying your gaming. Bye for now.